Hi, I'm Mike Regan with TranzAct's 2-Minute Warning for the week of December 9th. In some of our recent 2-minute warnings, we've been talking about what's going on in Washington, D.C. We've also made available to you an infographic which summarizes the type of legislation and activity which could have an impact on your freight cost in the future. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, last week I had the opportunity to participate in some outstanding conference calls that were hosted by the American Trucking Association and the Transportation Intermediaries Association. And folks, I'm telling you this for a very simple reason. As much as we've talked about what's happening in Washington, D.C., these two organizations did an outstanding job of bringing to the front all of the issues that shippers and brokers and carriers need to be paying attention to. Mary Phillips and her team over at the ATA highlighted all the different things that the FMCSA and PHMSA are looking at. And frankly, I was stunned. It's not just the EOBRs. It's not just the hours of service. It's not just the driver health. There's all sorts of things about speed limiters. Then there's the potential for new legislation that would mandate how much carriers have to pay their drivers and how much shippers have to pay when they have things like detention charges or other accessorial activity that impacts a carrier's assets. Folks, who would have thunk that we would ever see this kind of activity coming out of Washington, D.C.? Now, on the Transportation Intermediaries call, we covered some great topics, but the one that really got my attention was just how big an issue liability is becoming. Now, you may say, well, Mike, liability is a big issue, but let's be candid. How many organizations really take the time to make sure that their contracts protect them in the event that something happens? And we spent a lot of time talking about some of the hidden traps that can occur in the transportation industry. And that's why we want to encourage you to make sure you take a look at your transportation contracts to make sure that they adequately protect your company's interests. Now, some of you may be saying, Mike, how do I know if those contracts actually protect my interests? Well, here's what we want you to do. We want you to give us a call because we work with some outstanding transportation attorneys and they don't cost a lot of money. We'll simply pass their names along to you as a service. We don't get a dime from this, but what you will get is a thorough review that will highlight what you need to know in order to have a great transportation contract that protects your interest. Now, with each and every 2-minute warning, we're here to remind you, we are on your team and we're here to help. But more importantly, we are passionate about seeing you do well and making sure that you protect your company's interests. So if you want some information about how you can get a great transportation contract, give us a call today. Thanks for your time.